Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, subscribe because I post a new video every single week. So just as soon as I hit record on my camera, the gardeners decide to come, so if you hear something in the background, just know it's the gardeners and I have no control of that. And I can't film this later because I have stuff to do, so luckily, this is just kind of a casual video, so I'm just going to be talking about one of my favorite movies to watch on Netflix. The movie is called When We First Met, and it is hilarious. It's a love story, but it's also a comedy, so it's super funny. It makes me laugh every single time I watch it. I've watched it like 50 times. It also has a really great, valuable lesson in it. If you're planning on watching this movie, I don't think I'm going to say any spoilers, but like, no promises. I might say something, but yeah, we're going to get right into it. So let me give you a little review of what the movie's about, just so you guys are on the same page. Basically, it's about this guy that has been in love with this girl for 3 years, but she's getting engaged to this other guy. And he can't seem to let go of her. He wishes he could go back in time, change the way things are so that way she can fall in love with him instead and he can have the girl of his dreams. And that's pretty much what happens in this movie. He finds this photo booth that is able to make him travel back in time to the day that he met her, when we first met. And so the whole movie is just him going back in time over and over again until he makes that girl fall in love with him. And then at the end of the movie, he realizes, I can't make this girl fall in love with me. You can't make someone fall in love with you. No matter how hard you try, if it's not meant to be, it won't meant to be. And sometimes love is not about how you dress, how you act, how you look, or what your interests are. It's just about whether or not you feel it with that person. You know what I mean? So I could say that, ooh, I like a guy that's funny. I like a guy that has goals and has the same interests in me. But how many guys are like that? A lot. So I can date a lot of guys that check all the boxes of what I'm looking for in a guy, yet it all comes down to how I feel about that person. It's about the spark. It's about the connection. So here is the first quote that I really loved from that movie. Relationships are about intangible things. They're about moments. The real moments and who you share them with. And then he says to this other girl, spoiler alert, he doesn't end up with the girl that he's been in love with for 3 years. He ends up realizing that he actually is in love with this other girl that he has real moments with. And he says, and the realest moments that I've had over the past 3 years have been with you. So yeah, that's why sometimes things just don't work out with someone when you're dating them, because sometimes you just don't feel it, you know? They can be the perfect guy for you or the perfect girl for you, but there's no spark. And that's why when a lot of people break up on a mutual decision, there's no hard feelings, there's no beef, because it just simply didn't work out. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you can be so hooked up on a person from the past, or maybe it's someone that you are currently still talking to, but sometimes people hold on to someone for way too long, someone that doesn't like them back, and they try to change themselves. They try to do everything they can to make that person like them, but at the end of the day, you can't make someone fall in love with you. You can be the perfect guy for them, but you just won't be meant for them. And another quote from the movie is, the friend is telling the guy, Noah, so he's the main character, he's telling Noah, you're a great guy, but you're never gonna be that guy for her. So, another valuable lesson. Just because it doesn't work out with someone or someone doesn't like you has nothing to do with you. It's just how they feel, it's the sparks, it's whether or not you guys are meant to be. Nothing is wrong with you and nothing is wrong with them. They just simply don't feel anything. I hear this all the time where people will come up to me and be like, why am I not good enough for them? And I'm like, well, aren't there a lot of people in this world that are not good enough for you? And it's nothing personal, it's just that you don't connect with them. So same thing with them, you're just one of those people that they don't connect with. Not that you're not good enough, but they just don't feel it enough to be with you as a couple. There has been a time where I liked someone myself, I had a crush on someone, and they didn't like me back, and I kind of took it a little personal. I just thought maybe, okay, maybe I'm not pretty enough, maybe I'm not funny enough, maybe I'm not this enough, blah blah blah. And I realized, okay, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just not meant to be with them. They just don't see anything between us. Just like how I don't see anything between some other people in my life. Okay, think of someone in your life that you think is a great person. They're your best friend. they're a great person, someone of the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever gender you're attracted to, whatever your preference is, they're your best friend, but you will never date them. And there's nothing wrong with them. They're a great person, but you just don't feel that connection with them. You only see them as a friend. If they came up to you and said, I have a crush on you, you would say, sorry, I don't feel the same. They're not gonna go home and say, oh, I'm not good enough, because they are good enough. They're just not, you just don't feel it, you know what I mean? So you have to see that in the other person's point of view. If I like someone and they're not interested in me at all, I can't take it personal, because there's a lot of people in my life that I wouldn't date either, even though they're a great person. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people get really insecure when someone doesn't like them back. But trust me, you're gonna meet that one person where just like it clicks automatically. You don't have to change who you are. They're going to feel the sparks, and you're not gonna have to force them to like you or try your hardest to get their attention or get them fall in love with you. Sometimes things just happen when you least expect it. And then another thing is, I hate when people say this, but when people are like, oh, he dumped you, well, he's missing out. It's like, we all see, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but like basically we all see everybody in a different perspective. So the way someone describes you is very different from another person's description of you. For example, I might be an average girl to this one guy, but to my boyfriend, I might be the most amazing girl in the world. So if this random guy breaks up with me, I don't think he feels like he's missing out. He just didn't feel it with me. I was just an average person. He needs to go and find someone that's gonna make him feel like he's with the most amazing person, and you can't take that personal. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. You can be sad about it, but nothing's wrong with you. Everybody just needs to find their own person. You can't just expect to find the perfect person on the first try or second try. Sometimes it takes like 10 people, 20 people, I don't know, however many people to date before you can find someone that you click with. So why would you say that all of those 10 people that you dated are missing out? I don't think they're missing out. I mean, like the people that I've talked to, I don't think I'm so special to the point where they're missing out on anything. That's like if one of those guys said, well, you're missing out, and I'm like, I don't really care. I don't think I'm missing out on you. So yeah, if like one of my friends come up to me and they're going through a breakup, I'm never gonna tell them like, well, they're missing out on a great person. I'm never gonna say that. There's nothing wrong with saying that, by the way. But I would just personally never say that, because I don't think they're gonna miss out. Like, no offense, but like maybe you just weren't the girl for them, or guy. That's like his friend saying the same thing, like, oh, don't worry bro, she's missing out on a great guy. It's like, I don't think she's missing out. I think she genuinely just wants to move on. I think he just wants to move on. Why can't we both just move on and just accept the fact that we just weren't meant to be? So yeah, I hope that wasn't confusing. Basically, I'm just saying that a lot of people think that everyone should like them. Sounds a bit harsh, but we get offended when someone doesn't like us back, like if we're worthy of being liked by every single person. But overall, you could just be a great person, and not everyone you date is gonna fall in love with you. And if they do, not everyone is gonna stay in love with you. Just think about that when you think about relationships. You are perfect the way you are. Just move on and continue to search for your person. By the way, this video only applies to relationships that don't last solely because you guys don't feel it, or for someone that is stuck on the same person that doesn't like them back. This is not for relationships where like people have cheated and something went wrong or there's trust issues, you know what I mean? So it's not for those kind of relationships. It's just for the ones that people just need to move on. And just because it didn't work out with this person does not mean that something is wrong with you, or you need to change anything, or you're not good enough, or you're not pretty enough. You will find your person. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. I know it was kind of like a ramble, but I think I'm going to turn this into a series where I get a life lesson from a movie and I just kind of talk about it, ramble about it, give my thoughts about different life lessons. These kind of conversations are always what I think about when I'm just by myself and I'm like reflecting on life. And it's fun to be able to share it with a camera. So yeah, I'll be doing these more because I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.